What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counter Punch Boxing News, and I have a question and a volume to introduce. First, the question is, how long should a fighter fight or stay fighting? How many years equivalent do you think is just for a prize fighter? And the introduction to a new series, okay? Fighters that need to retire, okay? Needs to retire, should have stayed retired, should have retired a long time ago. That's what we're going, of course, to talk about. Now, um, we witnessed Evander Holyfield, age 58, come back into the sport of boxing, to try to revamp his career on a surprised bout that he didn't expect against Vito Belfort, which is 44 years of age. You guys come in, hit that like button. Um, and we had a 44-year-old man blitz damn near a senior citizen. That's what we saw. We saw him mauled. We seen him off balance. He didn't look like he was ready. He definitely looked rusty. He looked 58. He looked great as far as physical specimens, but that's Evander Holyfield. Evander Holyfield is going to look that way until he's probably drops dead. He's going to be the same way until he gets probably in his, maybe, who knows. He may die looking the way he looks. He is a gifted guy. He has good genes. So that's what you call guys like that. Just naturally athletic, and then he works out and puts the work behind it. He's a gym rat too. Him and Klitschko hung out a lot, people. They hung out because they got those like minds. They got those type of minds. Hey, when it's time to get up, it's time to hit the gym. It's time to make yourself active. It's time to push your heart rate. It's time to do a lot of things that you need to do, being those type of people, okay? But fighting's fighting. That's bodybuilding. That's physical condition. That's one thing. But getting in there with someone, geez, 10, 14 years older than you, or younger than you, rather, that's crazy. Let's hit that like button. Let's hit that like button. That's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about these particular guys that need to retire. They need to retire. They should have stayed retired. I think it's sad for Holyfield because, see, Holyfield, they caught him off guard, and it showed that he was game. At least he had the competitive spirits still, and I don't think that'll ever leave. Honestly, I think that will always be something in with steel in Evander Holyfield. So, I believe that Evander Holyfield, man, got beat up, didn't he? Think about it. Word of the day: terrible. Absolutely, it was terrible. And again, I didn't like to see that shit. Arizism, bless up, Kurt. Hope you're good, man. I'm great. I'm great. Let's hit that like button. We got 8 people on that. It's like a small little community as of right now, but nobody hit the like button. Hit that like button to let everyone know that I'm live so we can come on and get this party started. Only have a minimum amount of time anyway because I have to travel once again today. But I wanted to run this by you of the fighters. Who else do you think should be on this list? We have Evander Holyfield. I would second Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. would be another one for me. Okay. Who else? So sad to see a legend like Holyfield destroyed like that. He is a warrior and he doesn't need to prove nothing. Retire. Uh, you know, but you have to understand, somebody that's a warrior like that, that may Evander Holyfield may go home and that shit bothers him. He can't get no sleep. You know what I mean? Because a lot of things, when you made a mistake, you play it over again and again in your mind of what you could have done. But listen, boxing is like that. Somebody can go in there and open a can of whip ass just as fast as anybody else. And before you know it, you're like, what happened? You got your ass whooped quick. That's what happens. You know, and look, come on, people. Let's stop. Look, can we stop for a minute? Let's stop acting like we didn't see this type of shit coming. You seen that media workout. That media workout looked terrible. Did anybody see the media workout? Please tell me. By seeing Y or N or yes or no. Did anybody see that? D Hodges, what's up? Counterpunch in the chat. Salute. Salute to you, brother. What happened to the LDBC salute? What's going on? You forgot the LDBC. But no, please, somebody for just the sake of acknowledgement, did anybody see Evander Holyfield's media workout? Did anybody see that? It's just a question. Yes or no? To the 14th that's on here, unless you're driving. Okay, I don't want you trying to, you know, don't be like me and shit, you know. Ali should have retired after Thriller in Manila. Yeah, that was really bad, and I think that's the type of fights that like they take literally something out of you. Like, I mean, like some piece of your soul is gone in fights like that. He looked as bad now as he did in this potential Mike exhibition match. Look, Legend of All Sheet. Imagine Mike Tyson. Now, would have been the crazy thing. Mike would have went out there, bitch, back, and then beat up Holyfield, and then it would be fucked up. And I would feel just as bad because it's like, dude, you're younger than Holyfield. You're in better shape. Your technique is better. You took less punishment. Holyfield is an old warrior. Hall of Famer, old warrior. That's exactly what he is. And to see Tyson destroy him like that, no. I think Tyson Jones inspired older guys to come back. Did they know that it was an exhibition? It didn't matter to the Vito. Vito gave it to him, didn't he? He didn't give a shit. Mike would have gave him that coochie wally. It was good. Mike didn't fight him, and I think that's why Mike said no to him and Tony. All fighters now know when they can easily beat someone. Well, then again, wait a minute. Legend of All Sheet. That's exactly why certain fighters pick fighters, because they know they can beat them. 85% of the fights that happen now that are picked, they're handpicked. Okay? This ain't shit new, but it's like it's getting worse these days because you got fighters that don't fight other fighters. And fighters, sure, they take less punishment. They may make more money, but they don't want to challenge themselves anymore. They could give a shit. AJ should leave Eddie Hearn after this last fight. The promotion of this fight has been an abomination. This is why boxing is suffering. Not enough promotion for big fights. Hey, it's not enough promotion for this fight. I agree. They really need to pump that. Dude, it's like, this is the 13th. It's the 13th, man. You guys understand? It's the 13th. Right? These guys fight like week after next. And then we've heard the Sky Sports promo. I covered it. We had what else going on? You have Anthony Joshua. I get it. He has damn near 1 million subscribers. Okay, but still, this has to be marketed. And I think this is what I think, in my opinion, about that fight. That fight doesn't get pushed as well because they already know the numbers that it's going to generate. They know it already. They've already sold out the arena. You can't go to the arena. Exactly, but that's my point. I think Mike knew at his current condition is much better than Holyfield's, who was in the wars in 2 divisions. Even in the Roy Jones fight, he held back in some parts. I don't know. I think he was really trying to knock out Roy Jones. Fury was just arrested in Vegas, no lie. Get the fuck out of here. Tyson Fury. What was he arrested on? That's bullshit. That didn't happen. Come on. He's in the UK right now. He's not even in America right now. You know, so that didn't happen. Threw a chair at the kid. So, like, when did he come to Vegas? I live in the States, and so many casuals said they didn't even know AJ versus Usyk was fighting. Damn. Evander went life and death with Alex Stewart over 12 rounds, split decision win, and Mike Tyson destroyed Stewart in half a round. Well, Spence Jr. should retire if he's going to come back to cherry pick a return fight like Leonard did Hagler after, Mugabe. Then he shouldn't. Donaire should retire after his rematch. Rigo should retire. I agree. Rigo should retire. Donito Donaire, he's done so much, man. He's past his prime, but he still has that power. Right? Counterpunch family. Torch up that like button. I heard that. Hence why they're casuals. Ryan, Pac-Man should. I didn't really like that talk from a dude on his team saying that they want to end on a win. Ryan, I didn't either. And I covered that yesterday. I'm a huge AJ fan, so I hate how Eddie Hearn is handling this promotion. Such a big and great fight that's getting promoted terribly. You know what, though? Slotello, let me tell you something. That's probably why, though, certain promoters shouldn't have a lot of fighters. Do you think it has anything to do with him still working with Canelo and he's slacking off Joshua? So imagine that, right? Hay should retire. Well, Hay retired 3 different times. Pacquiao should. And now you look at fighters like Miguel Cotto that's been out of the game a long time ago. He's doing well, even though he was cheated, right? Andre Ward might come back to the ring. New Mbasa. How old is Andre Ward now? Just came in the chat. What you saying? Kurt Hearn working more for Canelo than AJ? He may be. I mean, look at the promotions. I mean, you haven't heard anything. You've heard Eddie Hearn talk about the fight, but you haven't heard him really promote it like he should. Doesn't AJ usually have press conferences and a bunch of interviews weeks before his fights? The little promotion has been weird. Maybe Eddie Hearn thinks AJ is leaving after this fight. I don't know. But even if he's leaving or not, that doesn't mean you should stop doing your job. Couldn't do a press conference because of COVID. He has been doing interviews. Fucking COVID. Emma Willis, appreciate it. Promo starts next week. Okay. Wilder lose, he should retire. No, he shouldn't. Um, you mean to tell me you're gonna learn all that shit from Malik Scott, shit that we've never seen you do ever in your career, and then get beat, then retire? I think that's chicken shit. That means all that particular knowledge that Malik Scott poured into him, that means he's gonna piss it all the way down the drain if he loses that one fight. It's crazy. Nah, you can't use COVID excuse when they literally have 60K in a week. That's true. His ego can't handle it. We'll see. Wilder shouldn't retire. He needs to fight White and AJ. Maybe Usyk and Ruiz too before he exits. Maybe he should, but that doesn't mean he's going to. See, that doesn't mean he's going to, guys. So that doesn't really mean anything. White is European level at best. Here's Carl. Hey, Carl. Wilder will be dropped after this fight. PBC isn't even promoting him anymore. Well, you know Showtime dropped him in 2019 after the Dominic Brazil fight. You guys know that, right? I want you guys to understand that. If Wilder isn't going to fight someone after the fight, after the Fury fight, win or lose. Now I won't deviate, Kurt. All these old fighters need to stay retired. Floyd and Holyfield especially. Well, you said they couldn't do one because Usyk couldn't travel and be safe. All right. All these old fighters need to stay retired. Well, how about them just fighting each other? How about that? What do you think? What do you guys think about that? Tyson might actually hurt Holyfield. Then what? Dude sound like he have a little brain damage already. See, chaos, he does. If you notice, Holyfield, if you hear him talk, well, I did tell he didn't do that before. You know, and it starts with like, okay, the punch drunk syndrome. You can tell because the first beginning parts is almost sounds like the tongue tied, like that. You know, it feels like that's what it sounds like you're tongue tied. Who else has that? I know he has it, but it's another fighter that has that that's been out of the ring for a while, and he kind of I can't remember him right now. But then later, the later effects of this of the punch syndrome are it's slower. Okay, you have like you had this whole little bit slower, you know, and then it gets like it's somewhat like a semi retardation kind of voice. You know what I mean? And that's how that sounds. Just got in, Kurt. Mario Salazar. James Toney, Riddick Bowe, Riddick Bowe's bad too. Yeah, Riddick Bowe's bad. He's slower, so he's in the later stages. James Toney, it is crazy. James Toney was one of the best defensive fighters probably that we had in the last 30 years. And it's sad. It's like, yeah, we get praised by the punches that he avoided, but then like he's still got hit though, people. Okay. Thomas Hitman Hearns, yeah, he's bad. The Motor City Cobra, he's bad. But understand something. Um, Even if these fighters like Muhammad Ali, Freddie Roach, even if these guys catch Parkinson's, right? That does not mean they're not dangerous. They could still hurt you and fuck you up. Like seriously. You think the Hitman Motor City Cobra, you think he can't fight just because his voice is being altered by getting too many punches to the head? You think he can't punch no more? Yeah, Floyd Senior. That's who I was talking about. See Chaos. That's who I was talking about. Yeah, you think I do me? You do this. You don't get over. You could hear it. You could hear it, and it's like, okay, that don't sound right. Maximus in the house. Raw Rap Records. I want to do an intro song for you, Kurt. Hey, man, let's see it. When you finish with it, bro, I will take a look at it and I'll add it to the front if it's hot. You know? Absolutely. Like real talk, let me know. But no, I mean, yeah. Floyd Senior is one, Riddick Bowe, Vander Holyfield. It's weird. A guy right in this city, from this city, named James Kirkland. Raw Rap Records. Man, I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to it. Bring it on. I want to hear it. Why is this of interest in America? We want to see new talent, not old men fighting. They were legends. Let them retire. MJF complete, because they're not retiring. They're coming the fuck back. Okay, that's why we're talking about it, because there is an interest on seeing if these guys, what they will do, and there is a concern of these guys being hurt. Okay. Hey, Kurt, checking in from Northern England. Counterpunch UK. Gotcha. Middle Box J, Counterpunch you, brother. It's too bad we got to get old, Carl. It is, but we do. So what do? I tell you what you stop doing. Stop fighting. For a middleweight in James Toney fighting heavyweights, even at old age, and he had so many fights. I am _ Dave. What would have been a good fight? James Toney versus Chris Bird. Would have been a very good fight. Thoughts on Fury's recent interview saying that the real AJ is a bully, and AJ called him up one time to trash talk him to fight him. I think this makes AJ look good because it shows AJ really wants it. Man, AJ's tired of that shit. AJ's tired of people talking shit because he's been there. He's seen people talk about his name and get them fucking rich, give them opportunities. They should do video games of those fighters older, just like that Charles Barkley commercial. That would be some shit. Sugar Ray Robinson is the best fighter of all time. It's not even close. That was a very talented, gifted man. Absolute legend. Unbelievable atmosphere at the Josh Warrington fight. You must attend a UK fight. Metal Box J. I will. I will. God damn it, I will. Kurt, in my opinion, I don't think these old legends should fight. We've seen fighters in their prime lose their lives in recent years and a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. But this is a very brutal sport. Very brutal. And the thing is, they're addicted to the brutality. You know, Raw Rap Records, the Mike Gods, Chemistry. Love your channel, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. We're through with Fury's contradictions in the UK. Keep him over there. Joshua's our guy. Damn, y'all kicking Fury out? Fuck you, you big dossers. That's why I fight out of town. Nigel Benn versus Hopkins at 168. Ooh, I have Hopkins. Too elusive, knows too, he's just, no. If there's any retired fighter I would like to see, that will be Miguel Cotto. No, I mean, you know what? He's supposed to fight Juan Manuel Marquez. And they close that shit down again. Let it go. Let it go. Just let it go. Kurt, Nigel Benn versus Hopkins. Yeah. AJ versus Ruiz, 3 in the States, is looking good. A good prospect now if he gets past Usyk. Well, Andy got to fight some fucking body, man. Come on. Like, you can't just fight Chris Arreola and then that deserves you a AJ3 fight. I think now he has to go through the process of elimination. At least he does have a buzz around him. He's broken records. He's done things. So at least he's done that. People know who he is. He's not a guy that's going to be forgotten about in a year or two. But his stock will drop like it's already been. If you look, even us as an audience, my audience of people, you guys, my warm market, when Andy Ruiz was hot, he was just as hot as Anthony Joshua or Wilder or Fury or anybody else like Usyk and White. He was up there with them. You know how I can tell? The numbers. The numbers didn't lie. Like Andy Ruiz, I would do a video on Andy Ruiz. It might get 20, 25,000 hits, views. Now you're lucky if he gets fucking 3. People stop caring because the more you stop fighting the best, the less people are going to pay you any attention. Okay? The old counterpunch guy needs to retire. Who's the old counterpunch guy? Who's that? Mike Jones, you mean my uncle? Has Lennox officially came out and announced he and Tyson will fight, or is it rumors because I don't think Lennox will? Nah, Lennox ain't gonna fight him. He'll fight him. He'll show him I'll show him the floating rib shot. Damn, Mike Jones. Insane engine. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. He said you. Damn. Calzaghe didn't punch hard enough. He punched hard enough, beat the shit out of Jeff Lacey. Metal Box J got him. Calzaghe didn't punch hard enough. Remember, AJ did say he will soon come back to MSG again. Ruiz 3 next, if no Fury. Also, remember, Eddie Hearn said Ruiz was the #1 option if the Usyk fight didn't get done. That's why Ruiz was like that. Please, God, Eddie, call me. Please, can you call me? I need another check. My mother needs another house. Her sister and her kids came in from Mexico and he took the house, so she needs more room. Please. Didn't Calzaghe make a comeback and lose? Am I mistaken? No, he didn't. Not that I'm aware of. Joshua earns 50 million a fight in England. He doesn't need the States. No, he don't. But I think it's going to come to a part where it'll be more than that, right? Hey guys, what happened to Mike Jones? Oh, that's right. He's still here, guys. Don't worry. He's here and he just can't say anything. He's just watching. Since I'm here in the States and also a huge AJ fan, I can't wait to see him come back and avenge himself. Slotello presents. He needs to. I mean, especially he said it. He needs to. Different class. Fury wants to retire unbeaten so he won't fight AJ. Well, that's one thing he could do. He could fight Wilder again and get the fuck out of Dodge. You know? And then I think Tyson Fury really does what he wants to do. I think at the end of the day, he might jive people and, and Wilder, I know he's happy because he got his fight, but understand, Wilder was in the plans. So if he does retire, that means he didn't have any intention on fighting Anthony Joshua whatsoever. No, see chaos. We're not going to get a Garcia fight until they both move up. Stephen Tarr. You believe that? You believe it was really taken out of his hands? Come on, let's think about it. Tyson Fury was paying millions of dollars to lawyers. Okay? So if he was paying millions of dollars to lawyers, why wouldn't he appeal? What are the lawyers for? Okay, a court decision. What the fuck does a court decision mean? That means you do something or else. That's what that means. Or else what? See, I find it strange. It's real weird you don't know about that arbitration, but like Frank Warren said, Stephen, he said this because he wants the AJ fight. He took the Wilder fight first. See, he took the Wilder fight over the Joshua fight. That's what everybody needs to understand. Tyson Fury took that fight. If he would have got sued, like Frank Warren said, he would have been sued. He would have been sued millions of dollars. But then you hear Tyson Fury, I'm paying my lawyers millions of dollars. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why don't you just pay to fight AJ? Pay Deontay. Because, see, now Deontay has already came out. Did you guys see his recent interview? He's already came out and said, well, hey, you either fight me or you're going to pay me. So what does that mean? That meant Tyson Fury was a fucking liar. Tyson Fury said that they offered him $10 million or $20 million for step aside, some shit like that. And Shelly Finkel said, no, they never offered us anything. Now I believe that. They didn't offer him anything. They took that fight because they didn't want to fight it. He didn't want to fight Anthony Joshua at that time. Anthony Joshua would have smoked Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury didn't even believe in himself. That's why that fight didn't happen. It wasn't meant to happen. You can't believe Wilder when it suits you, or can you? See, it's not that. Stephen, it's not that. See, they said they weren't going to get step aside money. Now, Stephen, you got a point. Because it's like Wilder, I know Malik Scott said, no, we're not taking step aside money. That's what Malik Scott said. Charlie Torres, salute to you. All right. But then Shelly Finkel said, well, hey, they didn't even give us an option. So what does that mean? That meant there was no resistance. There was no other negotiation past the arbitration ruling, which that's mighty fucking strange, because if you were so hell-bent on fighting this other guy and this guy's just in your way, why weren't you try to rectify that problem to get to the guy you claim you want to fight? Okay, so that's what you're looking at. That's what it is. I don't think the fact that Wilder didn't want to, they never offered him to even, so for him to even know or to make a decision on should I take this damn money or should I not? Martin versus Ajagba would be very good. I would love to see that fight. Why are boxers fighting the loser instead of the winner? Why is White fighting Arreola instead of Ruiz? Arreola literally lost this UA hurting. This sport is hurting boxing. Too much stay busy fights. Slotello. I don't get it. If I'm okay, based on how Dillian White looks at certain fighters, Usyk, Otto Vailene, Dominic Breazeale, Andy Ruiz, like he doesn't really respect any of these guys. The point is, Fury goes back to the court. Will he get the fighter or get the fight faster or slower if the court? I don't know. And then you hear them saying, well, if Eddie Hearn would have hurried up, we would have made the fight. Fuck out of here. This bullshit. That was contingent on that lawsuit was slapped on him and he knew what the outcome was. It's crazy. Fury said if Wilder doesn't speak again in the press conference, he should take pay cut for. John, it doesn't matter. Wilder don't care about that. Wilder don't care about that. I just want my revenge. All right, let's see. Fury said if Wilder doesn't speak again in the next press conference, he should take a pay cut. What's your take on Tank versus Lopez? I don't know. Let them fight. Let them fight. They're both strong guys. They've known each other. They've sparred each other. Let them go. Let's see who wins. I don't think AJ Fury will happen. But you know, if he does, people will be so sick of Tyson Fury that he would lose the fans that he thought he still had. Right? White has a fetish for a 40-year-old man. All right. He does, he's fought one twice, and then Lucas Brown, I think, was about 37, 38 at the time. Sora's, getting on up there. Right? Man, but I think, out of Evander Holyfield, Roy Jones, a lot of fighters that suffer from that. I wish them well. I'm about to jump off of here. I know it's been a short live stream, but I got to pack and do everything and get everything right. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys for a minute. Leave your comments below. Of course, please subscribe. And everyone on this chat has been counterpunched. Peace.